Mr. Chairman, I don't attend social events at the White House. I've not been interested in socializing with the president who spends so much of his time attacking my constituents. But I have read that there's some nice events there, and that when it gets around time to serving dessert, the president likes ice cream, but he always insists on him getting 2 scoops of ice cream and the other people at the table getting 1. And there's a lot of similarity between that dessert practice and what's being served up here today. If you look at where the money is on the individual side, the most expensive parts are the alternative minimum tax and the estate tax. There are Donald Trump's 2 personal dips, and they are big dips. Though we don't have any of his tax returns, we know from the one return that was partially disclosed that we will put millions of dollars in his pocket by eliminating the alternative minimum tax. And the same for his billionaire buddies. And we know that by giving the small portion of America that has any role in the inheritance tax, that by eliminating that, he will pay nothing on these billions of dollars that he has accumulated as his father passed on to him and as he grew them here in America. Nothing on the gain on those. And really, if you look at it, he gets a 3rd scoop of ice cream here, because the pass-through provisions are the same pass-through provisions he's used in the past in his real estate deals with carried interest as well. He gets the big bowl of ice cream, and the American people, they end up getting to lick the bowl and pay for the ice cream, because that's what's involved here. $2.3 trillion of additional debt that will come right down on the American people with so little benefit for them. Now, it is also true, as I mentioned in my opening motion to postpone, that Donald Trump's conclusion about the health care bill here was that it was mean and go with the Senate. And this very morning, apparently, according to news reports, he's called to say essentially the same thing about this bill. I'm sure he'll celebrate its passage, but he's told the senators, look to your approach because it's better than what the House has. And we haven't seen it, so we're not able to compare the two. The issues here are not whether we will take away from someone, but whether we will create more opportunity for all Americans to share in the American dream. We believe that the better way to grow our economy is to invest in Americans, to invest in American jobs, to give more educational opportunity, to honor the contribution our dreamers and many of our immigrants can make here in America. Those are sure tested ways to grow America. What we are presented with this trickle-down approach of giving most of the benefits to Donald Trump and his buddies is the approach that has failed to work to grow America time after time again. All that it does is grow speeches at Republican conventions, but it does not help the American economy. And as for the American economy, there is the other major issue of seeing even more of our American jobs outsourced abroad. And that's exactly what will happen in this bill as they create a giant new loophole to incentivize the export of jobs abroad. As for the process here, you know, we tend to look at it from this side of the table to consider the fact that our requests for hearings over the last year have been rejected. We've had almost no consideration of this. The fact that President Trump didn't have the courage and his administration didn't have the courage to send one person to testify at that table and answer questions about this. The fact that this bill was dropped on us at the last minute, a manager's amendment at the end of Monday, and then a manager's amendment that the chairman will not even explain the provisions, won't tell us how much they cost, what they do, and we don't have anyone here to explain it. But you know, it's really not from looking at this side of the table that counts. It's from looking at the other side of the table. The side of the table that so many people across America are looking at this and trying to figure out, what good does it do for me and for my family? Well, the answer for most of them is not anything other than give you the opportunity to pay for more debt. But this whole process is about a bill that is so bad, that is so wretched, that they fear the involvement not just of us as members of this committee on a fair and democratic basis, but they fear the examination of this bill by the American people. And that's why they pass it today in this contrived way, and they will bring it up on the floor of the House next week. And it is only by the American people getting involved, by contacting their members, by demanding fairness in this bill, that we have the opportunity that I think can be achieved to ultimately reject it as it must be rejected.
Thank you.